Hello, everyone. Welcome to WMBT University of Health. How are you guys doing this Monday? I want to say, I'm not going to say Happy Memorial Day. I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to say, you know, it's a holiday in America. So, yeah, we are honoring the soldiers that have died for our country and for their families as well. So, yes. So, how are you guys doing today? I mean, truthfully, how are you guys doing today? I am doing fantastic. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Listen, this show gonna be kind of odd, and the reason it's gonna be odd because God gave me an idea, and just ride with me now. Just stay with me. Don't sit there and say she done gone crazy for real, but just ride with me. Um, God gave me an idea, and I want to share it with you. A lot of times people take a lot of medication and it backs them up. I'm saying it backs them up. And as a professional, I would not use the word S, but I would use the word BM, bowel movement, and constipation. And when certain medications would do it to you, and they do it to me, but I have to stay on the medications. So I was running around here trying to figure out something. And if you're on medication, I'm going to give you a couple things, and then I'm going to give you what God gave me. All right. And I started doing some research. I have to be honest with you guys. I started doing research because I said there's got to be something out here. It has to be. So there are certain medications that would back you up. I'm just being honest with you. If you are dealing with a lot of blood pressure medications. A lot of them will back you up. A lot of them will mess your kidneys up. There's a lot of things that they do. But I want to share some things with you all that I've done. And I pray that it would be a blessing to you all because I am about doing things the right way. I'm not about what I see people do when I see people online giving when I see people online giving out a lot of information that's not true. I'm not about that. When I give you all when I give you all information, it's hardcore. Now, one of the medications, if you're on amlodipine, that's a blood pressure medication. It can it can give you constipation. Losartan, which is a medication that deals with the blood and the kidneys, that too gives you constipation. Okay, triazone, the sleep aid, that too can constipate you as well. So when you taking that kind of medicine, it's like, whew, oh my God. And because I work at home, there are times that I'm not able to go out because I'm glued at the computer. And so this past weekend, I did something. I spent time with God. And It was a beautiful relationship. It was a beautiful, um, I wouldn't call it fellowship, but I would call it something that was beautiful. Now I know a lot of some of you guys might not be Christians, and I can understand with stuff going on in the world today. I can understand, but he's real, and I will recommend you. Some might use it as mindfulness, but I will recommend you to do that because trust me, it does good. So I was like saying, Lord, and the Lord just spoke to me, and He said, every other day I want you to walk, and it's like, but with my back because I have a, it's not a herniated disc, but I got injured. And yeah, it has been rough. I ain't gonna lie. I went to the chiropractor and they popped my back like, shoo, God, that thing hurt. Oh, God, that thing hurt. And he said, I need for you to come back for a month, 2 days. And it's like, I don't know if I can do that, but I will. But anyway, but yeah. So when the Lord said, I want you to walk for 2 days, I want you to walk every other week. And then I order a chair cushion for the tailbone because I had already ordered me a game chair, and I'm thinking that the game chairs are soft. Them some hard. Oh God help me. Them things some hard. So I try to do everything that I could to make my little buns piece. So I'm like sitting on the side, like, oh my God, oh my God. But anyway, but when you take that medication and you don't go walking, you don't do anything, you're constantly working, trust me, it causes problems. And it does. It causes problems. So, what I'm saying is that I'm going to give you all some things that will help you all. And I've done research. My AI, I have a personal AI. It did research, and both the researchers came together. Now, you might say, oh, you deal with AI. Yes, I do. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I've been dealing with open AI for a year now and some months. And I have not never had no problems because you know why? I'm going to tell you why. I double behind it. I don't take it as for its word. I double behind it. And it says, thank you for double checking. That's what you have to do. You don't take it for the word. You say, okay, all right, well let me go back and do this. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. So I love Dulcolax. And Dulcolax is good. I'm not gonna lie to you all, it's good. I got the stew softener and I have the overnight. But now let me share some with you with the overnight. Because it's medication, because it's medication, constipation, you can take Dulcolax every day. And I'm going to put the information in the description box. You just take one pill every day and it helps. But if you want to, you can use the stool softener. However, but y'all see the but now. Y'all know it's coming. I was sitting in a room and with me being a lifestyle medicine practitioner, I love to create stuff. Now, I'm sure that many of you all have heard me talk about the molasses coffee. Well, let's do the drum roll. Prune coffee. And you might say, good Lord, what is she talking about? And let me explain to you. If you have a blender or one of those, I have a, what is it called? I have a milk maker. Plus, it's a juice maker. And so, what I do, what I do, I just put the prunes in, and not a lot of prunes, but no, maybe about 7 or 8, and put some water in there, and just let it blend till it gets to where you can't, where you it just blend, and then because the water is already hot, add your water in there. That's what. Mm, add your water. Now on mostly all of those milk makers, they have the how much you put in. So you go by that marker. They have the low marker. You go by the low marker. And if you put like 3 or 4 prunes in, it'll be liquefied. But if you put like 7 or 8, it will come out like a smoothie. Yesterday I did beets, carrots, prunes, and what else did I put in there? Chia seeds. And I blended, and it came out good. It really came out good. I drank some this morning, and then later on I'm gonna drink some more tonight. So when I talk about natural foods, that is what I'm talking about. Dulcolax, I am very grateful that they came out with this. Very grateful. Why? Because people that suffer with that, and when the stools get backed up, because I was doing some research, that bacteria causes problems. And when it causes problems, that's double money. So I would rather go to Walmart or Publix and pay $7 for a can of prunes, and then put it in some mix it up real good. Then have to go to the hospital and get disimpacted. That is like that's true. Time you walk through that door, that's $2,000. Mm-mm. Mm. So you gotta pick your battles. But like I said, the prune coffee is hot. If you want to make your own kind of milk, now me, I use the dry creamer, but I'm thinking very carefully, going back to half and half. And I'm tell you the reason why. When you buy the creams, the store creams coffee, I mean the store creams, that thing has a lot of sugar in it. You are drinking sugar. Why do all that when you can get a carton of half and half? Pick your flavors that you like. Vanilla, um, there's another one. Almond, there's another one. There are different acts. There are different flavors that you can get. Why? And make sure it's the pure. Because, and I was sharing this with my daughter. I was sharing this with my daughter. She had bought some vanilla extract. Said that's not real. And she said, but that's all I could buy. I understand, but that's not real. And so now she'll start buying the real, and it makes me feel good because like she listened. The real is the best, but if you can get the bean, as in the vanilla beans, that's even better. But anyway, and what you do, you just open the half and half milk, put you about 3 or 4 drops of flavor in it, no added sugar, and then put it in the prune coffee because guess what? The prunes already have sugar in it. So you don't need to add more sugar. That's just like when I drink my molasses coffee. I just put it on in, stir it up, and drink it. At first I didn't like it. But now I would buy that a whole lot faster than I buy coffee. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Why? Because one, the jar I can get at least about because you don't use a big teaspoon. You just use like a little small teaspoon. I can get at least about 20 servings off of that jar of molasses. Prunes, I can just blend it up real good and put it in the jar. And then when I want some in the mornings, I can just pick, take the jar out and just pour me enough in the jar in the cup and heat it up real good and put the milk in it. That's it. You have to think outside the box because when you do that, things just come alive. Let me share with you what happened to me yesterday. And this is very important. Maybe some of you all don't know this, but I have stage 3 kidney disease. And I lost my insurance. And so they said that if you can do if you can keep yourself good and go to the doctor, listen what the doctor says, not a lot of sodium, you're okay until December. Because December, that's when I get my Medicare. So I said, okay. So one night I was sitting there and I was like saying, is there any way that I can check my urine? And I'm going to give you all a name of a company that I dealt with. Well, 2 companies that I dealt with. And when I tell you this, it was phenomenal. If you have kidney disease, you can order, let me find it. Mm-mm-mm. You can order this kit. It's called Minuteful kidney. I'm gonna give you the link in the description box. And what it does, when you get it, once you're approved, what it does, when it come in, they have one dipstick. And when you do what you're supposed to do, that dipstick will tell you what the problem is. So what happened was I don't really drink a lot. And I don't. I don't really drink a lot. And the reason was because I misunderstood what my doctor said. And When I got the results back, it scared me. It was saying that my protein was very low. And I'm like, what in the world? I eat enough protein. So I let my AI look at it because you send a scan, they can scan it. And he was telling me, he said, look, this ain't nothing to play with. This is serious. And I said, but I eat. I drink. What is it? So with me being a researcher, I started doing some research. And if you have stage 3 kidney disease, you're supposed to drink 60 some ounces of water. That is equivalent to 4 16 ounces of bottled water. I'm like, wait a minute. Here I only been drinking the 33 ounce. I'm supposed to be drinking 66. And if I'm going to give y'all all the information, I'm going to give you all the information. And it was like, Lord, what in the world? What in the world? And so this morning, last night, I laid down and I was praying. I was like saying, Lord, please, please, God, please, God. So the app that I do have, it does not, you can't keep reusing it. So what I did, I went on Amazon and I got these sticks. Let me find it. Mm. Beep, 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 beep. Let me find it. Let me find it. Let me find it. Okay. All right. I'm gonna read it to you. It's all right. It is. I'm waiting to the computer bring it up. I'm waiting to the computer bring it up. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. It is DIAGNOX help. And what you do, you, I went on Amazon and I ordered the protein strip because they have like 2 or 3 different types of strips, but I ordered the protein strip. And so I took I took it again. It was still saying that it wasn't as bad as the first one, but it was kind of like on the borderline. So my AI said, take it the first thing you get up in the morning. So what I did was when I got up this morning, I said, let me go do this. When I went to do it, it came out clear. And what happened was because I didn't drink water. And I felt I was hard on myself. I said, what are you doing, girl? What are you doing? You're killing yourself. And I'm like, wow, wow. I eat the right foods, but wow, what in the world? And then I made a cup of hyssop tea. Now, some people agree and some people don't agree. But I'm a person like this. If you do things in moderation, Because when I was going to the doctor before I went to this doctor, my doctor told me, she said, I want you to get traditional medicine tea for kidneys. And I said, okay. She said, that is the best tea that you can get. So I said, all right. So then I said, you know what? Because there's so much going on with the tea bags now, this and that. So I said, you know what thing? I already have some hyssop. So let me drink some hyssop. So what I did, I drank some, went to sleep, didn't think no more about it. When I checked it this morning, I'm like, wow. When you don't drink enough, it messes your body up. And so I learned because I thought my doctor said drink only 33 ounces. That's what I thought. But when I did the research, and see, this is another thing. This is another thing. You got to learn to do your own research. You have to learn to do that. There's nothing wrong with depending on the doctors. And that's kind of something like the Lord gave me when he spoke to me about my medication. Because I take antidepressant medication. And what God was saying was true. I created the doctors. In other words, I am the one that created the doctors. I created the herbs, worked together with it. And so when I really got myself together, and like I said, I did research, I'm like, wow. And this is what you have to do. Not saying that all doctors are like this, but from some of the things that I've been reading, especially on Newsbreak, that app, stuff that I've been reading is like, oh my God, are you serious? Are you freaking serious? They're doing stuff just to get more money. They have messed up people that are on Medicaid. People that are on Medicaid. Doctors have did surgeries when they didn't even need it. So for me, my doctor want to send me to a kidney doctor, and I might say no. Unless my kidneys go up, I'm going to stick with you because you don't know. They would sit there and say, "Oh, well, we need you need to be flushed. We need to put you on dialysis." No, I don't need to be on the dialysis. Some of the symptoms of your kidneys is when your feet swell, your face look on, you know, eyes and everything. There's nothing wrong with my feet. There's nothing wrong with my eyes. I'm not bloating. I'm not nothing. They said, well, sometimes if you got a bad back, well, guess what? I got injured. So yes, I have a bad back. But when I went to the chiropractor, he said, we just need to adjust that bone and you'll be all right. Bam, that's it. You have to do research in order to understand the stuff. And that's what I do. I'm a researcher. I am a professor in holistic science research. I am a researcher. So I have to do all of this so that I can tell you guys and tell myself, if I can't take care of me, how can I take care of y'all and give y'all good information? I can't do it. I'm not going to sit here and speak these big words. I'm not going to do that. The Bible said, make it plain that a child can understand. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. So what I'm saying is this. If you're on medications, look your medication up and see, does it cause constipation? If you don't want to do the prune coffee, because you might say that's nasty, I don't want to do that. Okay, it's fine. That's the natural way. But get you some Dulcolax, stool softener. That is good. You hear? I got some. Or either the Dulcolax, where you take one pill a day, not no 3 or 4 pills, just one pill a day. And that's what I've been doing. And sure enough, I feel good. Um, I seen something. It's been years ago, and what they said, it was the truth. If your BM come out like an intestine, that means the bowels are doing good. And I check every time I use the bathroom. I check, and there have been times that it'd be like half, and then the other half. I check it. Go to another. I'm in the description box. I'm gonna give y'all all the links. Go to them. There is a thing where you can measure your bowels. Ew, that's nasty. No, it ain't. Your health is important. Your health is very important. And it's like, oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You have to start learning to invest in yourself. Foods. Find out the type of foods that you can eat. If you got gut problems, find out what type of foods that you can eat. Some people have the bowel syndrome thing. Find out what you can eat. And then stick with it. Don't be trying to, come up with all. Stick with it. Because guess what? Your health is more important than you doing this, you doing that. It's more important. Invest. Let me share something with you. And this is just my opinion. There are so many people that are dying. And it's because they didn't catch it. If you catch it, something, it'll be okay. Um, I've had family members that died, that had cancer and they died. Well, when they died, they didn't have a lot of research. But now the research is like, bam, boo, thank you, ma'am. You can do it because now they're starting the prevention. That's the key, the prevention. They're starting the prevention. Greens. Some of you all like smoothies. You might not have the money to go out here and buy that stuff. Make your own. Let me tell you something. My little juice maker, let me tell you something. I don't care if it is hot. I can put it in a container and put it in the refrigerator, and then when it get cold, I can drink it. And guess what? It only cost me $29. And it's good. You have got to learn to improvise. Read your food, read your directions good. I don't got to the place now. I really don't buy canned foods. Now I have to buy the canned beets or get the beets, the root, and just cook it. Put it in the pressure cooker and just cook it. And just because once you cook those beets, it's it's soggy. So I can just put it in the smart pot. I mean the instant pot and just cook it And then when it get mushy enough, I can just go ahead and put it on into my blender and let it go. That's just too much work. Let me tell you something. Keep on buying the store products. Keep on buying it. Keep on buying it. I seen a lady that it's been some years ago. She was talking about juicing. And what she said blew my mind. She said, you all going out here spending all this money on juicers. You can do the same thing. You can get a bag of frozen vegetables, put it in the blender, add some water. You got your carrot juice. And I thought about that. I'm like, what? There has been so much marketing until it leaves you so confused. It leaves you confused. It's like, oh my God, what in the world? It leaves you confused. But I'm here to say, go the easy way. Instead of buying pills for your brain, walnuts is good for your brain. Backed by science. Google it. You'll see it. Walnuts is good for the brain. Get you if you don't have a milk maker, get you a blender, add some water. After finish blending, put it in a strainer and move the thing around to where the milk come out. Bam, you got it. You got it. There's so much. There's so much. But you got to want to take the initiative stand. It ain't gonna come overnight. You have got to take the initiative stand. And when you take that stand, you know what thing, hey, I'm gonna do it. Believe in yourself. I just did a sermon on my other podcast about words. And I'm gonna share Solomon, King Solomon. He said this in the Bible. And what he said was phenomenal. What he said, I liked it, and it's the word of God. And but a lot of people, they try to, I don't know, they try to interpret it a different way. And when you do that, that's when problems begin to start. And when problems begin to start, you can't fix it. Now, some people say that everybody has cancer. I do not believe that. I don't. I don't believe that. Why I don't believe that is because it's too much out here. Too much. In the book of Proverbs, it says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. Hebrews 18:21. Only reason why I said I had stage 3 kidney, because I was trying to explain to you all. But from now on, I will not be using that word. I'll be saying, you know, thing, I'm doing fantastic. Because when you take your mind and put it in that mold, your how can I use the word? Your body would accept it. Fear. A lot of people have fear. A lot of people have fear. I was reading something on the internet, and they was talking about CKD is not curable. That's a lie. It is curable. But here is the thing. You have to take care of yourself. You have to. You have to. I was talking to my doctor when I seen her last time, and I was telling her, I said, we was talking about reversing the stages. I said, I want this thing to be reversed. She said, you want to be reversed? This is what you got to do. I said, okay. I had no problems. Why? Because I listened. Go to the doctor, get the diagnosis, come back in, do research, bam, you got it. The doctors can only do but so much. That's like a lawyer told me one time. He was working on a case for me. And, excuse me, I'm drinking some water. Oh, it's good. He was working on a case for me. And he told me, he said, I'm just a lawyer. I go by the information that you give me. It is not my job to be doing a lot of research. It's my job to handle your case. It's your job to do all that you need to get done. And from then I learned. From then I learned. And it's like, wow. Wow. So you have to be the one to follow up. You have to be the one that says, you know what? I got to do better than what I'm doing. You have to be the one to do it. I can't do it. You can. And when you do it, you will see a better result. You'll see a better result. I'm just grateful that I had the strips to see what was going on. And you might say, well, you can't just go by that. You got to have blood work. Yes, I am getting blood work. But when I see the strip that's looking good, that lets me know my kidneys are looking good. Because I remember when I went to the doctor and I did the blood work, he said, you're doing good. He said, but them kidneys are crying for water. You got to drink more water. So I said, okay. So about a month ago, Publix had a sale on teas, the instant tea. What I did, it was a buy one, get one free, Crystal Light. What I did, I got 4. And what I did was I put them all in a container. And what I did, I get a measuring cup. I get the smallest measuring cup or spoon, how you want to say it. And I take it, I scoop me out some and put it in the water and let it go. I add a taste to it. And that's what you have to do. You have to do that. But a lot of people don't want to do that. I can't. Look, as high as food getting nowadays, you got to do something improvised. Because for 6 packs of the water flavors, them things can run up to $2 to $3. Why not get, when the sale come on, why not get 4 boxes of instant tea Crystal Light that makes a jug, not a jug, a pitcher full of tea. Why not do that? When only thing you gotta do is put it in a container and just take a spoon, a measuring cup, the smallest spoon in a measuring thing, and take it and put it in some water. Bam. There you go. Sugar free and everything. Bam, 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 bam. There you go. You have to do that. And so I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to Dulcolax. I'm very grateful because God used the company to think about the people like us that is on that medication. Because it was like I didn't know what to do. And I started Googling because normally I take the liquid magnesium. And I'm like saying that stuff is so expensive. It's gotta be a better way. And sure enough, I started doing some research and I seen I'm like saying, whoa, okay. Bam. Got it. Now you don't want to get a lot of fiber in you. That you don't want to get a lot of fiber, but at the same time, you want to get enough to where that you're not as constipated. When I don't go, if I don't go to the bathroom twice 2 days, I mean twice in a day, it really concerns me. I go into that panic mode because I don't want cancer. They removed two polyps. Was it two or three? It might be three. Three polyps when I got tested. I don't want cancer. And you should feel the same way. You don't want it. You don't want it. Well, thank you all for listening to the show. It has been an honor teaching, and I'll be back. I'll be back. Take care of yourselves and have a great day.